Hey everybody, thanks for attending the June 23rd key review for product. We'll be discussing the May data set. Brian has the first question. And also, Brian, if you could note the comment from Nicole, give some guidance to Justin on whether to go through those numbers or not.
Yeah, I would not go through the numbers, but just slide 21. Why is the fulfillment percentage by web portal continue to decline? And what have we tried to change course? And what has worked and what hasn't worked?
Yeah, thanks for the question, Brian. I'll avoid talking about specifics here, but high level, the main driver is EOA. And so net, we see a lot less transaction volume, primarily because we don't offer starter anymore in the web store. And that made up a large percentage of our transaction volume prior to EOA. So you can click through under A3 and 4 there. There's some dashboards that illustrate this a little bit better. As far as what's worked, we have made a couple improvements that have shown some improvement in the overall like web store conversion experience. So the first link there is fixing an issue where going from the pricing page to the purchase flow, sort of asking you for the same information a couple of times, like what tier did you want, and did you want self-managed or SaaS? By cleaning that up, we saw a significant improvement in conversion, which is great. And then we've also moved SaaS purchase flows from customers.gitlab.com to the product. So we know that leads to better conversion as well. But in reality, what we haven't done yet, and what I put under what hasn't worked, is we just haven't spent time here. Like fulfillment, the purchase team, who's the DRI for the web store, is primarily focused on all the Supersonics work right now. And so we just haven't put the time and attention I think we should to digging into this and improving, either iterating on this plan or problem specifically, or just in general, contributing to improving conversion and the overall web store experience. So that work will pick up in Q3 after Supersonics launches, but that's why we haven't really sort of stemmed the tide from the dips we've seen since EOA.
Okay, thank you. I have number 4 as well. With the implementation of the credit card, what impact do you think this will have on minutes?
Yeah, thanks, Brian. So we have seen the credit card have the positive impacts we wanted, which was reducing team member toil, abuse, and then the impact of abuse on legitimate users. In terms of minute usage, keep in mind this is only applicable to new users, so we don't see wholesale dips in CI minute usage. At the moment, we've had like kind of 2 weeks of steady data since then. We've seen slight dips from pre-abuse ranges in minute usage. What the thing we're really keeping an eye on is new user verify adoption, trial adoption, and conversion rates. And Gila's done a bunch of analysis on that. Gila.
Yeah, I can talk quickly about those. So we launched this credit card since May 17th, and we saw a negative impact on verify early adoption rate. And the data is pretty early because we had a bug. The bug was just fixed last Friday. So this is not ideal because namespace with verify adopted is 3 times more likely to convert than average namespace. And then we also saw a decline in trial volume since May 17th, and a couple assumptions. One is that because new users are not seeing value as much as before. Now they cannot use free CI minutes, so they don't sign up for a trial. The other possibility is before there are some spammers in the trial. So those two things may be mixed together in that data. We want to observe that a little bit longer. The last thing is we haven't seen a major drop in the free to paid conversion rate, but note that is a lagging indicator. So if verify adoption drops, if trial drops, conversion rate likely will drop, but it takes time. So we are monitoring that as well. And the last piece, I think if you go to the doc, our support team member shared that there are some impact on their teams because now this situation makes certain customers a little bit harder to serve. So they need to be involved a little bit more. Yeah.
Thank you. Also appreciate all the work that you and the team is doing on that. Next one is mine as well. Scott, reading through the presentation, you and your team had a lot of great accomplishments this month. I just think it'd be great for you to verbalize the top 3 that had the biggest business impact.
Yeah, happy to. Always hard to pick, but
Yeah.
my top 3. First of all, lots of big changes in Secure. Like we're swapping out the analyzer. We swapped out the underlying engine for container scanning. It's called Trivi. We're working on improving the accuracy of findings. So lots of sort of stuff under the covers that reduces false positives for customers. But the net effect is that it should really increase adoption. It should improve the customer experience because they'll be seeing real vulnerabilities. By consolidating on one underlying analyzer, it'll reduce, it'll increase efficiency for the dev team. They won't have to work across multiple different scanner engines. So anyway, should make the team faster, improve the customer experience, improve usage. So really excited to see all that play out. Some of those were quite large projects. It took multiple milestones to come true. Secondly, if you recall, a few months ago, we put a bunch of people on database stuff. Those teams are cranking now. They made really quick progress on creating overhead or headroom within .com for database scale. And we also have a sharding team that's working on kind of a longer term solution for database scalability. And those things are going well. And those team members that we added are adding value now. And then finally, Supersonic's giant project. I'm really pleased with the project and the coordination. So kudos to everybody involved in that.
That's great. Thanks for sharing. Number 6, for the items that are noted as problem or attention, can you include get well plan, actions taken from last meeting, and lessons learned? If it helps, I can provide a template. And just the purpose of this is there's a lot of people on the call who can learn from things that you're doing, may help them in what they're doing, or can offer some help as well. So,
yeah, happy to. I think we have sort of a inconsistent approach to that. I think the growth pages more or less are doing what you're asking for, and others it's not as clear. So a template would be great. And then also some of them, just to be transparent, will take a long time to move, like stages per org, net promoter score, location factor, take a while to move.
Yep.
And so the actions might be pretty consistent month over month. Is that okay? Should we think about reporting on those differently?
No, that's completely fine. Some will be really near term and within the month, and some may take multiple quarters.
Cool. Thank you. Sam has the next one.
Yeah, on slide 18, we have the golden journey going from create, verify to release with those percentages listed. Why is plan not included in that when it is at 91%?
I can speak to that because I work with Scott and Sid closely on this one, and this is more kind of sharing my understanding of the intention as well. So I think the intention of Golden Journey is to find stages that is foundation to unlock more stage adoption, not necessarily focusing on the stages with highest adoption rate or bring most revenue. So to that point, create, release, verify, and release is the foundational path, critical path to unlock other stages. And also when we compare the adoption rate between the free tier, the paid tier, that is the crossover. Like we saw in paid tiers, the adoption rate for all those 3 stages are high, much higher than in free. So that's the main reason. And both Plan and Secure has really high adoption rate in Ultimate. They are critical stages, but not on that critical path to unlock other stages. So I think David make a great point. I think they might be in the app tiering journey. Maybe if we name another journey, not the golden journey. David, do you want to add more there?
Yeah, I mean, Sam, I had a similar question when we first talked about it, and I kind of captured what Gil and I talked about a while ago. It's essentially like adoption of Secure is low outside of Ultimate because really it isn't Ultimate. We've put like raw scanner results in a free tier, but that's why you see like I think 2% of core users are using it versus the 39 or 38% or whatever it is for Ultimate. Um, and so I kind of look at it as what, as Hill said, is unlocking additional stages versus what is driving upgrades. And I think I agree with Hill's comment. I think that Secure and Plan are actually driving up tiering to Ultimate. Um, Secure kind of half unlocks Protect because of the overlap that Scott talked about at the beginning with like container scanning. But outside of that, they're not like unlocking a stage after them per se.
Got it. Makes sense. Thanks for the answer. Wise, you're up
And
next.
you have number 8.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Hey, Justin, I was looking at slide 22 and I noticed that V2 and V3 for cloud licensing were a little out of date, which is understandable considering, V1 is still going. I was just thinking about, maybe we could rescope that during the retro and how can I help? So that's my question.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks for the flag. And I agree. They need to be rescoped. I listed under this agenda item a few things that are top of mind that are high priority after launch. So moving to strict orders away from our dual order option that we're going to launch with. There's some improvements we need to make to the co-term and auto renewal billing process to support the billing team. And then a way to deliver midterm sort of out of contract upgrades to cloud license. So if we can get customers on cloud licensing before their renewal, that allows us to accelerate adoption, but unknown how we're going to do that yet and how that might look. So those are the ones that are top of mind to me, but I love the suggestion of going into detail in the retro and then we can update this.
I also noticed that I opened up the issue for V1 and it's been a year since that issue was open. So it's been a long journey, but a lot of good progress. I'm glad that Scott views that as one of the top 3. So we're almost there. On slide 24, I know we found a bug with some of the data. In this case, it was usage ping data going from the product into Snowflake and then into Gainsight for customer success. I'm curious. I saw that the blog post I think went out 2 days ago. Are there any early sort of sentiment from the community? And then, do you get a sense of what that might do for future operational service data blogs?
Yeah, good question. And it's definitely a concern, but so far the response, at least communications wise, has been minimal. There's only been one person responding publicly across various mediums. There's 13 total customers who have requested their data to be deleted. And that is the denominator there is, I think 6,000 or 7,000, if I remember correctly, is the total list size that we sent an email to. So my sense here is that if this trend continues in this way, the impact to future plans around our service data collection will be minimal. But that's the thing to monitor and keep a close eye on. If it picks up more traction, if the community is vocal and concerned about it, then we just have to be careful.
Thanks, Justin. Sid, on to you.
Yeah, for the non-developer pricing, I see the progress. I must say I feel a bit out of the loop on this, so maybe it's an idea for Keith to keep me posted a little bit more. And I wonder if we're if we're able to make this more specific. I think at GitLab, most companies have about 2 add-ons. One is probably going to be for another project. So we have kind of 1 to go. So I'm not sure we want to introduce like 5 different non-developer pricing tiers. So what I've mostly heard is a plan add-on for users using the plan functionality in Ultimate. I'm open to other ideas, but let's make sure that the effort is proportionate to the opportunity space.
Yeah, we're looking at multiple angles from this in terms of understanding the customer demand for it, as well as the potential return on investment. So we're looking at, from one perspective, getting some customer survey data on kind of think of it as a mini SKU, if you will. So you have a full license and then non-developer. That's one angle we're looking at. Another angle we're looking at is also working with our salespeople to understand, what their perceived need is. And so we're triangulating on what is the one thing that would resonate the most for our customers. And then we'll go in with a proposal of here's what we can potentially do.
Yeah, I'm super concerned in kind of introducing a new tier. I think that's what you mean with mini SKU. You mean a mini tier?
It'll be basically, if you can buy premium or ultimate, and then within there, you can say that X% of my users would not require the full set of features, and so therefore you would buy the ultimate light, if you will, or ultimate non-developer.
Okay, I'm super concerned about that.
Yeah, we're looking at different.
I'm sure you'll get enthusiasm, but I'm super concerned what the overall impact will be on our ability to sell Ultimate. So let's make sure that we keep each other posted on
No,
this.
definitely. We're looking at multiple angles.
The next one too, we had a discussion earlier, but I think it would be helpful if that question comes up to also augment our Golden Journey page with that information.
Yes, I'm adding that now.
Cool, thanks.
Thanks for the question so far. Anything else?